Alright, what is it out of focus for? Alright, 48. So what happened this week? Like, it seems like my feed is full of, like, whether Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. Like, it's some sort of fucking race. Like, who even fucking cares about that? Couldn't give a fuck. It's dead. It's not fucking news. Seashan, is there a thing? Like a trend or something. But fuck that. You won't find any of that shit here. The Dominican Republic has finally banned child marriage and made it illegal. Not sure that many of you are aware, but this has been a huge issue since forever, basically, with 36% of women being married off before their 18th birthday and 12% before their 15th. But now President Abinador has signed a legislation prohibiting this. About fucking time. Moving on. Priti Patel. Home Office Secretary Priti Patel is under scrutiny after 150,000 files of data and evidence, including fingerprints, DNA, and arrest history, was deleted from the police national computer in a routine cleaning. Well, some of them are saying it's a routine cleaning. Others are saying it was a bug. I think they're just making up excuses at this point. But anyway, apparently technicians are scrambling to recover the data, which, you know, I think that's quite funny. Because you know when those Grenfell files got deleted? You know, the evidence for the Grenfell fire? Nobody made any fucking effort then, did they? Weird, right? Fucking idiots. But anyway, a pesticide that is believed to harm bees has been authorised for emergency use in England, despite it being banned in 2018. Apparently the use of the product containing the chemical thiamethoxam has been allowed because a virus is threatening sugar beet seeds. Now, not being funny, but what the fuck is sugar beets? So, sugar beets are used for refined sugars and animal feed. And in my opinion, I don't think that's fucking worth it. But you know, these things are always happening. There'll be a great forward-thinking move towards the environment, or climate issues, or whatever, and then a few years later, seemingly under the radar, it'll be reversed. But whatever, innit? What else? As COVID figures rise and we reach a new daily record of 1,564 deaths, the UK government, after 10 months of a global pandemic, decides to start controlling travel borders. What is this, a joke? You let anyone come in and out as much as they want for like 10 months, and then all of a sudden you're like, nah, I can't come here. I mean, it's good in that, it's just too fucking late, as usual. It's a bit ironic for a country that's been running the slogan, let's take control of our borders for the last fucking 5 years or whatever, innit? Yeah, good stuff. There's a new COVID variant. Actually, there's two, both from Brazil, and one of them's already here in the UK. So get ready to hear loads about this one. When our government further fuck things up, I need to explain why the next lot of restrictions consist of nobody leaving their bathroom, and everyone having to live off nothing but a box of Tic Tacs, a sheet of Rizla, and half an orange segment. It's that new variant's fault, innit? Anyway, Boris Johnson showed everyone that his idea of local exercise was biking 7 miles away from his home, crossing 3 dual carriageways, whilst 2 girls got fined £200 each for travelling 5 miles away from their home to go for a walk. And you know what? I'm not surprised at all. We know that Tories are exempt from the rules that they force us to live by. Didn't you get a memo? It's been going on since last year. Thing is as well, Boris did this after the news broke of Jessica Allen and Eliza Moore's penalty fine. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did it on fucking purpose. Because let's be honest, there's absolutely no purpose of him to leave Downing Street and go on a 7-mile bike ride to Olympic Park. Fucking Stratford. It's unfortunate that nobody hit him on one of those dual carriageways, isn't it? Fucking bell end. Moving on. Brexit is causing bear issues because of course it is. Exporters are suffering delays as a result of new paperwork requirements following the transition period, leaving many Scottish seafood companies with weeks to survive. Emergency measures being planned at UK ports to prevent food shortages in supermarkets. What? Man's gonna eat, innit? I'd love a glass of apple juice, but all I've got is a stupid fucking apple. Yeah, it's bollocks. And Downing Street signalled that the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has not yet read the full text of his own Brexit trade deal. Fuck me, really? The guy's not even read it all. But it's his fucking deal. Another issue caused by Brexit is that since leaving the EU, British musicians are no longer guaranteed visa-free travel, and many will need additional work permits to play in other countries. At the time of me recording this, over 250,000 people have signed a petition calling for the government to negotiate a free cultural work permit that would allow musicians and artists to tour the EU. And although, yeah, it is good to see people like Dua Lipa or Biffy Clyro signing and sharing this petition, unfortunately, there's a very strong chance that nothing will come of it. Pains me to say it, but it's true. As I'm sure we all know, the music and live events industry has been one of the hardest hit during this pandemic, and millions of people have suffered and are still suffering because of this. But let's look at the issue, that being the government, right? Our government couldn't really give two shits about the music and events industry. It's common knowledge at this point. But I'd say that many musicians aren't doing what they could be doing to help the situation. The situation being having a shit government who only care about their own financial gain and don't give a fuck about the citizens of this country. Now, the music industry predominantly consists of left-leaning creatives, right? Pretty much. Let's have a look at some social media figures. Let's keep this strictly to Instagram because, you know, Twitter is for keyboard warriors, and who even uses Facebook anymore? Adele. We all know who she is. Let's not be fucking silly, but anyway, Adele has 39.51 million Instagram followers, 14.27% of those in the UK. That amounts to 5.6 million people. Who's next? Harry Styles, 35.05 million followers, 18.60% in the UK. That's 6.3 million people. Who else we got? Ed Sheeran, 7.6 million. Dua Lipa, 4.6 million. Sam Smith, 2.4 million. Those few alone bring us to over 25 million people. Obviously there'll be some overlapping, but imagine these musicians and more, and some actors and other people in positions of influence, all using their platforms in synergy to campaign against the current normality and policy that is failing most of the people in this country. The same people who listen and support these artists. These people deserve to be supported back. We all need and deserve better. All of us. What's preventing these artists from doing anything? What is it? Are the messages getting blocked by management or PR? Because there must be people reaching out to them. There must be. But not that they'd need to be. Because these artists aren't oblivious to what's going on in the country. They know what's happening. Are they just being ignorant? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, they did nothing during the last election, which we can now confirm brought us the very issues that plague these musicians and the ones that they work with. So what I'm basically saying is, do fucking more. I fucking see you sitting in your nice house bought with the money received from your your followers and fans who are struggling not only due to the pandemic, but due to the issues caused by the government that we're elected in, that you could have helped stop if you'd only take, an hour out of your week or even month to help fight against them. There's an election in 2024, so start speaking the fuck up. Because if you were to lose the support from your followers and your fans, wouldn't be so fucking good, would it? I don't know, take a leaf out of Marcus Rashford's book. But talking about Marcus Rashford, so we all know that thanks to the Man United football player, Tories folded and decided to provide free school meals to children from families that weren't doing so well during the pandemic. But instead of giving families an allocated amount of money, why wouldn't they give them money? Right, I need to talk about this. So back in October, Tory Party member Ben Bradley suggested that giving parents money for kids' school dinners could result in them spending it in crack dens or brothels. Sorry, what the fuck? What can you get in a brothel for 30 quid? Hand job, mate. A hand job? That's basically an insult. Who in the right mind would do that? Hand jobs are shit.
You know it's better than wanking, mate.
Literally any other sexual activity.
Wanking with somebody else's hand.
No, it's not. Are you mad? Somebody else's hand wanking off my penis that I've been wanking off with my hand for like the last 25 years or however long I can fucking remember. And you think I'm gonna pay somebody else to do a shit job of something that I'm literally an expert at? You're a fucking idiot. Anyway, so what the Tories have done is demonise the poor and basically said that they couldn't be trusted with money. So instead, they gifted contracts to companies to choose and distribute food for the kids' two parents. The main company being Chartwell's, who of course have strong links to the Conservative Party. No surprise there then. So, this week the first school meals hampers were sent to parents all over the UK. And well, you know how that went. I mean, look at these. The fucking state of them. And these aren't isolated slip-ups or mistakes. Pictures of comparison came from all over the country. All of which are A, not enough food, B, not substantial enough in terms of fruits, vitamins, calories, whatever, and C, nowhere near equal to the amount of £30 that they should be. I mean, look at this. This is fucking leftovers or some shit. I've got that in my fridge from like last week. So what are we looking at? We have 1 apple, 1 potato, a bag of pasta, what looks to be a bag of rice, half a tomato, a third of a pepper, a quarter of an onion, a stub of carrots. Mate, this is fucking mad. A stub of carrots? Really?
Hey! You got a fucking problem?
What?
You!
I'm sorry, who the fuck are you?
I'm fucking good for you.
Have you fucking seen this?
Eat me you can see at night time, you fucking prick.
Fuck you talking to?
I don't have to put up with this shit from you, a fucking Instagrammer. I'm on fucking TikTok now. I'm on fucking Twitter. I don't give a fuck about you, motherfucker.
Fuck 'em. Anyway, a packet of those free biscuits you get when you check into a hotel room, and 2 fucking coin bags. 1 with grated cheese and 1 with a bit of tuna. Like, man, that's like a tablespoon of tuna in a fucking money bag. That's some mad shit. Anyway, it's a fucking disgrace. Chartwells have gone out, spent as little as possible, and kept a huge chunk of the money. And there's no two ways about it. But instead of terminating the contract, which they're very much in breach of, the government continued to use them. Of course. Matt Hancock, who voted against providing free school meals, said that he was glad that this came out on social media, so that it could be corrected. I call bullshit. Bullshit, anyone? There is no way that slimy motherfucker gives a shit about poor kids or families. Neither does that fucking Boris Nonson. Got him. None of them do. They're probably pissed that it came out on social media, but on the other hand couldn't care less, because they know that the general public are a load of fickle-minded pushovers who will likely forget about it this time next week, and most definitely will forget about it by 2024. Anyway, moving on. What's going on in America? Fucking loads. Trump's refusing to pay Rudy Giuliani for being his lawyer, which is fucking hilarious because he's gonna need a fucking lawyer, right? Not that Rudy will be able to help him anyway, because he's fucking useless. Terrorists, formerly known as Karens and Kevins, all over America, are being put on no-fly lists, and they are kicking off.
This is what they do to us. They kick me off the plane. They call me a fucking terrorist, and they want to fucking ruin my life.
So in light of the state capitol incident from last week, more arrests have been made. Flag guy, desk guy, podium Keith Lemon guy, this guy, Doug Jensen, that put out a TikTok saying,
So they want to make me the poster boy for all this bullshit. Fuck that. Don't believe the news.
don't believe the news. How about you? Should we believe you? Because you used a picture of you committing treason in the state capitol building as your fucking TikTok profile picture. Fuck me. Whatever, man. And also this guy, Shamaraquai, who's now been held in a detention centre and refused to eat because the prison wouldn't provide organic food. A detention centre. A prison. He's there for committing a crime. And you know what happened? The detention centre where he's being held in Arizona have decided to provide him with just that. The food that he wanted. And that is white privilege as fuck. He's also asking for President Trump to pardon him. Oh, and while we're talking about white privilege, just so you know, Kyle Rittenhouse, the kid who travelled all the way to another state carrying an illegal firearm so that he could go to a Black Lives Matter protest and shoot 3 people, killing 2 of them, and then go home to sleep in his own fucking bed, is currently hanging out in bars in Wisconsin, drinking beers at the age of 18, breaching his parole, and wearing a t-shirt saying free as fuck on the front. So there's another dose of white privilege for you. Anyway, more news came out about exactly what Trump was doing whilst the riots were taking place last week, with multiple White House sources saying that he was watching the whole event unfold on live TV, whilst eating cheeseburgers and drinking coke. His son, on the other hand, was probably doing a different type of coke, if you know what I mean. As calls came in from people literally begging him to address the rioters to help stop what was happening, he apparently shouted, "Why should I? These are my supporters. Of course he fucking did. His aides then apparently pleaded with Melania, or at least one of the Melanias, to help try and persuade him. But she was in the east wing of the White House, arranging a photo shoot for some book, and when asked for her help, she literally just ignored everyone. Like, didn't even acknowledge that they was there, while she was arranging vases and shit. No response whatsoever. That's mad, innit? Fucking crazy. But you know, you don't need me to explain any of this shit to you, do you? Trump didn't care about the safety of other people's lives. Why would he? In fact, the only thing that White House insiders said he cared about was how all of his followers that stormed the Capitol looked cheap and poor. Fuck me. Imagine that. What were you expecting? Uniforms, full sets of teeth. Your demographic is far from any form of elegance. But anyway, Trump went to Texas earlier this week to talk about that fucking Wally bill, and once again showed no remorse, nor did he take any responsibility for what happened on January 6th, saying that the 25th Amendment was of zero risk to him. And I guess he was right, because Vice President Mike Pence, who Capitol State rioters were chanting to be hanged, has not taken any steps to invoke the 25th Amendment, and as a result, the House of Representatives proceeded with impeachment, making Donald Trump the first president in the history of the United States to be impeached twice. Who was the last president to be impeached before Trump? Was it Bill Clinton? And he got a fucking blowjob. Imagine being impeached twice and getting no blowjobs. Well, he loves to be the first to do something, so I guess he got what he wanted, right? Anyway, the trial will start when Trump leaves office next week. However, many Republicans are still against it. One of the main things they're saying is that it's time for America to unite, and that his term is over, leave him alone, let's move forward. First of all, this isn't the Boston bombing or 9/11, where the terrorist threat came from a different country. The threat is in America. It's almost half of America. The FBI has released intelligence stating gatherings of Trump supporters similar to that of the state Capitol building are planned to take place on the 20th of January in 50 American states. But there is only 50 American states. So all the fucking states then. What is the Republicans' plan to unite them? Offer them a can of Pepsi? There is no uniting these people. It's not gonna fucking work. National Guard troops are literally sleeping on the floor of Congress to protect it from the very people you want to unite with. These domestic terrorists. Anyway, secondly, yes, his term is over, but he could still have a political career. He can still spread conspiracy theories. He can still incite violence and hate. And he can still run again with a political platform. As if Republicans are saying that this fucking guy, Donald Trump, should be left alone. That's nuts. His followers literally stormed the building. Amongst other politicians, Republicans had to be evacuated. There were guys with knives, guns, pitchforks, zip ties and bombs. Because of Donald Trump. Are you fucking mad? You know, I can imagine that Trump gets away with everything that he's ever done, dodges every lawsuit coming his way, gets into power in 2024, burns half the country to the ground, starts a nuclear war, and amongst all the rubble are a couple of Fox News anchors, Mike Pence with a metal arm, and a bunch of Republicans all sat around a pile of burning encyclopedias, shaking their heads and saying to each other, I can't believe we didn't see this coming. Fucking idiots. Anyway, with Trump being banned from basically every social media platform, including Facebook, Twitter, Google, Spotify, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Reddit, and Shopify, man can't even do shopping. Many Americans, mainly Republicans, are saying that big tech are taking away free speech. No, they're fucking not. Trump still has free speech. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. He just can't use these platforms. Fuck him. Twitter's actually started removing a lot of crazy Trump supporters' accounts. And hopefully this is something they can apply to other people in other situations. Because although free speech is important, hate speech and inciting violence should have consequences. Everywhere and anywhere in the world. But anyway, that's enough for me. If you're a friend of mine, please share this video. If not, it's totally fine. Take care of yourselves and see you later.